A funeral service was being held for a young woman who had just passed away. As the pallbearers carried the casket out, they accidentally bumped into a wall. They heard a faint moan come from inside the casket. They opened the casket and found that the woman was still alive. She went on to live 10 more years and then died. And they held another funeral for her. While the pallbearers were carrying her out, her husband yelled, "Watch out for that wall." A young couple is on their honeymoon. The husband is sitting in the bathroom on the edge of the bathtub, saying to himself, "Now how can I tell my wife that I've got really smelly feet and that my socks absolutely stink? I've managed to keep it from her while we were dating, but she's bound to find out sooner or later that my feet stink. Now how do I tell her?" Meanwhile, the wife is sitting in the bed saying to herself, "Now, how do I tell my husband that I've got really bad breath? I've been very lucky to keep it from him while we were courting, but as soon as he's lived with me for a week, he's bound to find out. Now how do I tell him gently?" The husband finally plucks up enough courage to tell his wife and walks into the bedroom. He walks over to the bed, climbs over to his wife, puts his arm around her neck, moves his face very close to hers and says, "Darling, I've got a confession to make." She says, "So have I, love." To which he replies, "Don't tell me you've eaten my socks." A husband and wife are moving out of their house and are starting to box everything up. The husband finds a box under the bed, pulls it out, and looks inside, where he finds 2 eggs and about $8,000. He approaches the wife and asks, "What are the eggs for?" She replies, "Every time I cheat on you, I put an egg in the box." He says, "That's all right, you've only cheated on me twice. What's the money for?" The wife replies, "Every time I get a dozen, I sell them." It was 2 o'clock in the morning and a husband and wife were sleeping when suddenly the phone rang. The husband picked up the phone and said, "Hello." A few seconds. "How the heck do I know? What am I, the weatherman?" And slams the phone down. His wife rolls over and asks, "Who was that?" Husband replies, "I don't know. Some guy who wanted to know if the coast was clear tonight." A man comes home and sees a note on the refrigerator from his wife. She wrote, "This isn't working. I'm at my mother's." Man opens the fridge, the light turns on, and he says to himself, "What the hell? The fridge is working fine."